Wanted to take a second and talk about foundation issues and when we need to be concerned and when we can kind of look at it and go, that's a pretty typical movement in a foundation. Ideally, we don't see any cracks in a foundation, but I can tell you from being in hundreds and hundreds of basements, that's not how it usually works. There's almost always going to be some amount of movement. Knowing when to be concerned and not is really important. We always recommend that you have an inspector look at your home, and if there's ever a question about a foundation issue, we certainly are going to recommend to have an inspector look at your house. But just talking generally about it, there are a few different types of cracks. We have step cracks, we have horizontal cracks, and we have horizontal cracks and vertical cracks. They're, depending on the size of the crack and the direction of it, is going to dictate whether we're going to say, yeah, that's an important crack to have looked at, or not so much. Step cracks are when it follows the mortar lines around the blocks. That's quite common. Just even minor movement can give you small hairline cracks in that mortar between the blocks. When we see horizontal cracks, that's a little bit more concerning because that means that the foundation is actually might be pushing in a little bit. That's where we're going to look at the size of the crack. Is it an eighth of an inch, a 16th of an inch in size that's manageable, or is it really opening up and something that we need to be concerned about? The next is a vertical crack. A vertical crack is definitely not a crack. That's where it's actually going through the blocks. That is not a crack that we really want to see, and certainly is going to be a situation where we're going to want to have somebody come in and take a look at that. The size of the crack, where the crack is, all of those things are going to dictate the severity and the level of concern that we're going to have when looking at it. Again, we're not home inspectors, but we've been around enough basements that we can talk generally about these things. Obviously, stone foundations are going to be different. Poured foundations are going to be different. And we also have superior walls that are a whole different type of foundation. The biggest thing is when we see these types of problem areas, we're going to go outside and we're going to look. Is the slope away from the foundation? Are the downspouts pushing water away from the foundation? Because ice can go down along the foundation, freeze, and push the foundation. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to want to look at and say, hey, is that an easy fix, something that can be done to avoid this problem getting worse or not? So I hope that gives you some general information about it. Obviously, if you have a specific question, call us. We have professionals we can get you in touch with. But hopefully this gives you some general information, and if there's anything that we can do, please reach out to us. We'd love to help you with any type of questions you may have. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.